anytime once the recording is available on the website. So again, we will try our best to get that posted by tomorrow or early Monday morning. So we'll do our best to get that shared with you right away. And a little bit about myself. So I will be presenting the first half and letting you know how to navigate the platform. And again, the second part will be our career coach will be sharing more so about the provide you some tips and how to put your best foot forward, and also give you a little bit more guidance in terms of what you want to do before and prepare for the event. So okay, let's get started. So I'll share my screen. Before I actually share with you the platform, I want to share with you the website first for the event, which is more so going to be your guideline for the full agenda for Career Day. So just want to make sure that does everyone see my screen? Yes? Can I get in? Okay, okay, awesome.
We can see it perfectly. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. So the very first part that you would want to go for the day of the event is you want to go ahead and go into kpu.ca/career day. So for anyone who maybe have a second screen or you want to follow me, feel free to do so. And I'll also share the link here just to get yourself familiarized in terms of what you're going to be expected on doing on the day of the event. So if you have already seen the event page, you already can see here the agenda for the event. So the first half, before the actual chat opens at 12 o'clock, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., we will have kind of like a welcome address from our director here at KP Career Development Center, from Julia Zenker. We also have a keynote speaker joining us. His name is Muhammad Kalas, who is a very proud KPU alum and the current vice chair of the KPU Alumni Foundation, and also the senior HR talent acquisition partner at CIBC. And we also just learned that he is also an instructor in School of Business now. So if anyone has taken his classes for organizational behavior, I know for a fact that Muhammad is going to be very inspirational, and he's really here to share with you exactly what his career trajectory is after he graduated at KPU. So this gives you a little bit more insights on what to expect in the real world, what are the things that he had done to get where he is at this time of his career. So very exciting. So make sure to join the link. So the link is going to be a Microsoft Teams, same thing with all our webinars. So when you click there, just again join from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then of course, at 12 o'clock, you can then log into Career Connection, which is where the main event is going to be live. There you can join queue, so meaning you can join a one-on-one chat with an employer, or if it's available, so some organizations also has a group chat function available. So if you want to join a group chat setting instead of a one-on-one, you can also do that. But we'll talk more about that when we hop into the link. First off, I just want to share first what are the other resources that you can access before the event, so that you can prepare and also find some instructions and guidelines to when you are joining the event. So of course, we have here the virtual career fair resources already available. Again, same thing in the website. Majority of the resources are available within Career Connection. So really, you just need to hop into Career Connection, go to resources and resources library, and type in career fairs, and you can find there tons of valuable resources that you can refer to. And not just that, there's also other resources like resume writing, interviewing, and other articles that our career coach has been posting every bi-weekly, and also being shared in the newsletter. So make sure to check out the resources library for all the other career resources that's available to all the students and also alumni. So even if you graduated, as long as you have access to Career Connection, you definitely can access all the resources, jobs, and also attend all the events and webinars that we are hosting. And again, before we join in, We also have an event instruction available for you. So if you want just, just general guideline and so forth, um, uh, you can definitely go into the cheat sheet here that you can print or just have something on the side. It tells you again from 11 a.m. you want to attend the opening. So the link again available on the website. Uh, this also is a little bit more breakdown of what we're going to be talking about later on. But again, just giving you step-by-step instructions, how to log in, where to find the event, see who's coming. So again, we will be checking out the employer list later on and how you can view their profile and jobs if they already have postings available. One thing I want to share with you is that our co-op team, so if anyone's interested in joining co-op or might have heard co-op but not really sure what it is, then make sure to attend the event and also speak to one of the representatives from the co-op team. So the co-op team has they will also be part of the employer list. So if you scroll down to the list, and again, I will show it to you later on, you can just simply join their queue and you can have a one-on-one chat with one of their representatives. And of course, the instruction will be here. We'll talk about this step by step later on when we go into the page. So one thing I also want to share in the second page here, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, what questions should I ask? Like, how do I prepare? What type of questions do I want to ask certain employers, depending on what it is that you're looking for? So whether if you're looking for a particular role or position, you can try some of the questions that we have here. Of course, you want to make it your own all the time. So you want to write it as how you're speaking. But these are just some general questions that you can use as a reference and guidelines if you're looking about asking actually about their experience, right? If you're in HR or you're just looking more so about, the overall culture within the company and you just want to get yourself familiarized with how they do, what are the steps that you can do to grow within the company. Again, there's a lot of questions here that you can use as reference. So now, before we head in, I also want to mention here that I know we've been doing a lot of draw for the webinars, after the webinars, which is $20 Tim Hortons gift card, but we are also giving away a $250 and a $500 shopping gift card to to two students. So one winner each for each of those gift cards. And you basically just need to register, attend, and speak to at least 3 organizations. But of course, you can speak to as many organizations as you want, but just to earn an entry, you just need to speak at least 3 organizations, and we will be able to track that as well. So don't worry about it. We will make sure that you will get an entry if you join the event. Okay, so to those who are following me, now you can go ahead and join the event. So if you click here, it will prompt you to log into your account in Career Connection. So if you click that, or it's also available here. So if you click that, that should allow you to log into Career Connection. So I'll just, for those who are following me, I'll just give you maybe a minute to log in. And then I'll go ahead with the student page here in terms of what you can expect. Okay, so let's say it's now you're ready to chat with the employer. You finish the opening remarks and the keynote, and you're preparing to turn yourself online so that you can start chatting with the employer. You want to go ahead and click events. And for some of you who've already registered, so that's great. You already know where to go. Of course, you want to go exactly to Virtual Career Day 2022. And here, as I mentioned earlier, these instructions is also available here. So generally, if you're just trying to figure out, okay, how do I chat again with the employer? You can just go to the overview and the instructions will also be available here. Now, first, before we even chat with an organization, I want to show you how you can actually view their profile, how you can start preparing and figuring out who exactly you want to talk to. So we have around 45 exhibitors or organizations attending. We have ICBC, Bayshore, CPABC, and with this 45, there's hundreds of positions available. But a lot of them are also here really just to answer any questions you may have about the company, how to get started, what are the entry level positions, or you just again, what are the um, recruiting process for students. Let's say if you're second year and first year, second year, what can you do now so that you can prepare and apply for positions in their company in the future once you graduated or before you graduated. So they have a lot of insights about that. So really, this is all about taking advantage in terms of preparing. If you're in the first years, second years, and explore your options in terms of like what careers and opportunities you can apply to in the future. Or right now, of course, there's some part-time opportunities available too. But then if you're third years or fourth years and you're looking for some more so entry level, of course, that's something you can also ask the organization. And they also have a lot of graduate opportunities. So if you are an alumni joining us right now, definitely speak to as many employers and ask for those graduate opportunities and how can you apply for these roles. We also have lots of nonprofit organizations. So if you attended the panel yesterday and also the networking webinar, we talked a lot about the power of networking and making connections. And our panelists yesterday also reinforced and reiterated that how important it is to make that connection and really get yourself out there and network. So this is also a really great opportunity for that. Just by speaking to these organizations or maybe asking them who will be the best person to connect to. If you're looking to ask for an information interview, they can guide you to the people that work there. If you're looking to do some informational interviews specifically for certain roles that you are really looking forward to applying to in the future. So yeah, and of course we also talked about volunteering and how important it is, especially to a lot of employers. They also hold a lot of value with your volunteer experience. So if you're looking to build your experience or you're looking to if you're starting right now and you don't know where you can find roles and so forth, so this is also a great place to talk to these organizations who might have these volunteer opportunities available for you, and of course, connect with the community. So again, all the organizations are already listed here. If you're looking to, let's say, learn more about the company, you can view their profile here. So of course, they will have an overview, but for more information, you can view their profile and you can learn a lot more about the organization and the company. So ICBC has a few information here. There will be other organizations who have already posted their positions, so that gives you an overview. But mind you, some of them are just few positions that they're featuring, but some of them might also have hundreds more that are not posted here and could be in their careers page. So when you speak to the organization, I'm sure that they will be able to share light with you more opportunities, not just the ones that are shared here in Career Connection. But for the purpose of this event, I want to direct you first to the student alumni test event, mainly because the chat function really will not open until exactly 12 o'clock. So what you can do for now is we can do a test event here, and you can join here. So you could do Virtual Career Day 2022 Student Alumni Test Event, and you can click attend so that in a way, it kind of like mirrors what it would look like on the actual day of the event. So right now, what you in the career day page, the main one, you will only see overview and employers. But on career day, you will actually be able to see video chats and actually with what gives you a summary of all the organizations you've spoken to. But in the employer side, you will also see on the right corner here more tabs to actually join the queue. So you can join up to 3 queues at a time. So meaning you can line up to 3 organizations at a time. And once you're finished with one organization, you can hop onto the employer list again and select another organization you want to line up to and click the queue. So let's say to the students right now, feel free to join any queue here from either the KPU Event Test Employer and Liana Test Company, just to show you what it would look like on your end when you're joining a queue. Okay, so I just hop in here as a test student. So as you can see, it would look like, so on the right side here, you will see all the organizations you are currently lined up to, and also the estimated wait times. Depending on how many students are lining up for that organization, their estimated wait times may also increase to 30, 40 minutes. So in that case, if you want to be strategic, you might want to go and line up first with organizations who has less lineup, where it has a less estimated wait times. But if you have an organization that you really want to speak to, you might want to line up early and keep it in keep it in your queue until it reaches a certain wait times where you can just hop onto the queue once they've accepted you to the chat. So the organizations does have control over when to accept you, but it's first come, first serve. So they will accept the first student who joins their queue and so forth. So if they have multiple representatives, then they can accept more students to the queue. So your wait times might actually lesser than what is showing up in your screen. So be mindful to always check this queue so that you don't miss any students. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I am currently in Surrey campus, and it looks like somebody in the main center building is doing some groundwork. Apologies for that. But again, so I'll move ahead with the actual chat. Sorry about that. Okay, so we'll try again. So let's say I am ready to chat. So first off, actually, it seems that we have Mansha Kumar who started a chat. So Mansha, I will just click that and end it for now. Again, I would just want to share with the students what it would look like in their end, but then you can definitely see in your end what had just happened when I started the chat. But I will go ahead and start my chat here. There you go. So let's say one of the organization has accepted you for their chat. A pop-up will show up on your main event page here, or you can simply go into this to the right screen here with the upcoming video chats box, and you can click join chat. When you click that, it will tell you the video chat instructions that the employer has set up. So for this one, there isn't any built-in video chat capabilities, but the organizations can share their video chat link either through Microsoft Teams or Zoom link. So be mindful of that you will have multiple different links available. Based on the registration we have right now, majority of the organization are using a Microsoft Teams link. So you know that when you click that link, you will be redirected to a browser, and then you will just have to type in your name and then join the meeting. Of course, now you can have that conversation. If you want, you can have your browser on the side so that you can keep tabs on how long you're having that conversation. And then let's say I'm just going to give this an example. And then based on which platform you're using when you're meeting with the employer, you can just have that on one side so you can have that conversation. And once you're done and you're I will try again. So once you are done, you can then close. You can then leave that chat, same thing as how you would leave a regular chat with Microsoft Teams. If they're using Zoom, it's the same thing. You just need to follow the guidelines in terms of like how to use Zoom. You can end the chat there, and then now you can go back to your browser here to end the chat with the employer, and then write your notes based on the interactions that you've had. So let's say, so again, I'll just move it here since I've shown you what to do. And let's say they shared with you on a position or an opportunity that you're very much interested in, and you can say, then okay, I'll go back to the notes. So yeah, you can write whatever notes you have based on the interaction you've had with the organization. If you've asked, let's say, for the position, and you said, okay, I really want to apply to this role, and you know that it's already posted in Career Connection, then you can simply type in apply for the position. And so that way, when you do the follow-up after the event, you can just go back here to your notes and see what is it that your action items are, or what are the things that you want to do after the event. So that's so that's pretty much how you will be doing the chats. So after you're done with the chats, you can go back to your queue and see if you have been accepted to chat. If not, of course, you can go back to the employers list and then select the organization that you, other organizations or representatives that you want to speak to, join their queue, and then wait again until you're accepted to that chat. Now, there are organizations who are doing a group chat. In that case, you can actually simply join in through the group chat function here. So you will know if they're doing group chats if you see this icon here. So it's the three. If you click that, it will give you a schedule. So depending on what type of group session they're doing, some of them will be doing an info session for a certain period of time. Let's say from 1 to 1:30, there will be a general information session about the company and some of their roles and opportunities. If you want to enter that chat, again, they will be providing a chat instruction. So either a meeting link, Microsoft Teams meeting link, or a Zoom link, and just again enter that room. Once you're done with the group session, again you can go back to your browser, the Career Day browser, and then view again your chat if you have been accepted to a chat. We might be actually able to expand this to five lineups. So if you are waiting, you're lining up to 5 employers and you're not getting into any of them, you might want to maybe prioritize and look for other organizations that you want to speak to based on your list. And you can leave their queue anytime. So let's say you want to leave this queue. There you go. So now you have more room to join more virtual lineups and select organizations that you're interested in speaking to. I just want to make sure that everything is clear. Does anyone is having a hard time going into the chats or no? Everything's good?
Michelle, there is a question from Ash.
Sure.
The question is, will all organizations see that we've attended the virtual career day, or only those that we select to converse with?
Yes. So depending on who you've connected to, that's the only way that the organizations would know that you have attended the event. One other way to make another connection with the organization is marking them as interest, because the organization can actually see the list of the students who are joining, and also view your profile and so forth. So if you've marked them as an interest, on their end they will actually see that, and that might prompt them to actually connect with you directly and say, hi, we've seen your profile, your resume, and we're actually very much excited to meet with you on the day of the event or even after the event. So there's opportunities not just during the event but also after the event. So that's one way, I guess, I can let you know. You can let the organization know that you are attending the event. Does that answer your question, Ash? Great question, Anusha. It is going to be for both students and alumni. So that all our events and career fairs will always be open to KPU students and alumni, as long as you have access to Career Connection. If you know some alumni who might not have access, they can simply email us career services, and we can definitely provide them the access to the event page. Because even after you graduate, you actually do have access to Career Connection to apply for roles, and so forth. And even right now, there's hundreds of amazing opportunities available. So you can apply anytime as a student or an alumni. Um, One thing I do want to point out too is I know, so the event is going to be between 12 to 3 p.m. So meaning you can enter anytime between that period and chat to as many organizations that you want. Now, let's say you do want to step out for a few minutes for a washroom break, or you need to do something else quickly and so forth. You can update your status. So when you're online, this is where organizations can actually accept you to their chat if you join their queue. If let's say you have joined the queue, but you just want to step out for a few minutes for a washroom break or so forth, you want to set yourself up as busy. So that way the employers will not be able to start the chat. So what will happen is you will just remain on their lineup. And what it will show is that you're not available at this time. So then they can proceed with the next student. And then once you are ready to chat again with the organizations, you can go ahead and turn yourself back online. And that way, it will show the employers again that you are available. And if they're ready to speak with you, then they'll just start the chat. And again, you will see the instructions that they've provided, whether it's a Microsoft Teams link or a Zoom link. Enter that chat room, speak with the organization. And again, typically the conversations can be only up to 3 to 5 minutes or more. If you're having, if you're having a great chat with the organization, you can definitely, I think they can definitely extend your meeting with them. But that means that, of course, whoever is in that other lineup may just have to wait for a few more minutes. So if you are if you notice that it says estimated wait times is 5 minutes, but you haven't been accepted after 5 minutes, it might be that they're still in the chat with another student. So be patient. I'm sure that they'll get to you once they're done with their conversation with the student. On the other hand, again, you can join another chat while waiting. But let's say you are done, you're ready to leave and so forth. And let's say you still are in a lineup and so forth. When you click offline, that will prompt the system to actually remove you to any chats that you are still in the queue for. So you don't want to hit offline until you're actually ready to completely leave or until the end of the event. So for the most part, you want to just keep yourself online or busy and so forth. Another thing is your resume. So this is a great time to share your resume with the organization. Again, some of the organizations are ready to hire. So if we're really, really eager and really looking forward to applying for certain roles, then share your resume to the organization. And this resume will be shared to the organization that you have joined the chat with or those who are attending the event. And to do that, you simply have to click Add New. Add new here in the document section, label it whatever it is, resume or cover letter, choose a file, which is file document, and then press submit. And once you do that, when you go back to the events page, then that's the time where you can actually add your resume. So again, I'll just go back to this one, careers page. Oh, actually, we're in the wrong page. We're going into the student and alumni test page. There you go. And yeah, and now you can add the resume here, which is, I have here the test already, and then click save. So that's pretty much what to expect on the day of the event. One helpful tip is if you're having issues with technical glitches and so forth when you're attending the event, there will be a link provided here in the help desk. Again, it will also be a Microsoft Teams link. So you just need to click that, and then you can join the meeting link there, and one of us will be there to help and support you. If you want to meet up with a career coach, more so about your resume or kind of just more so like an interview practice or general career support, our career coach is there as well to give you that added boost of confidence. So hop onto that link as well anytime during the event, and they'll be able to help you and guide you kind of like in terms of how you want to present yourself and so forth. So yeah, so that's what the links will be provided here in the coming days. And your chat profile. Before anything, if you haven't updated your profile, again, this employers can actually see your profile here, when you're graduating, what programs are you in. So if you want to highlight that to the employer, make sure you go into your profile and add the information here. This is pretty much kind of like LinkedIn. So you just want to add here your education, experience, organization or volunteer experience that you've had, maybe even projects. Really, this is a time for you to just showcase yourself to the organization, and yeah, and see what could be the outcome. So that's pretty much the extent of how to navigate the platform. And in terms of the technical side, I know some of you might be asking more so questions about, okay, now how can I present myself and so forth. So this is where I am actually going to invite our career coach, Chantal, who will be able to give you more general tips and guidance for the event.
All right, thank you, Michelle. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Yes, so as usual, really great information. Thank you very much, Michelle. And as she said, yes, I am indeed going to be talking about ways that you can navigate yourself through the career fair and how to put your best foot forward. So just a quick reminder about some of the resources that we have available to you. I won't go over each of these items, but I do invite you to visit us at kpu.ca/career center in order to find out about all the resources and services that are afforded to you through your Career Development Center. So please come by and visit us. A reminder that, of course, we have Career Day coming up on Wednesday, March 9th. And then just following that, on Friday, March 11th, we have Effective Interviews. So that will be hosted by me, and that will be from 12 till 1 p.m. that day. So what we're going to be covering today, steps to take before leading up to Career Day, how to get yourself all prepped and ready to go and feeling confident, how to research a company, navigating during the actual event. What do you do? One-on-one chat or a group chat? Hint, it's both. I would recommend it. And keeping that momentum going after the fair. We'll open it up to any questions, and then of course we'll be doing the draw for the $20 Tim Hortons gift card. So stick around for that. Things to do before. This isn't surprising to you, I'm sure. Researching the companies, researching the representatives that will be attending, and of course, getting an understanding for the jobs that they'll be hiring for and the requirements of those jobs and so forth, so that you can prepare yourself accordingly. You'll want to make sure that you have a good setup. By this point in the game, you probably do, but I can't tell you how many students come to career coaching appointments still sitting in their bed with their laptop or phone propped up, and I'm going to suggest not to do that for the career fair. Put your best outfit on and imagine that it is in fact an interview. So do make sure that if you have the option to use a laptop, that's probably best as opposed to your phone. Make sure that the camera's working, that the mic is working, and that you have a strong connection. If you feel the need to, then just head over to campus and find a space there. Now, Michelle had already covered this about uploading your resume, but make sure that you also have a customized resume or resumes ready to go for those employers that you really do want to target and impress. So upload a resume that really showcases your overall skills, but do be sure to have some customized resumes ready to go as well. I already mentioned about picking that outfit. So imagine that you're at an interview and dress the part for the company that you're interested in targeting, or for the companies that you're interested in targeting, and then pick a spot in your place that is comfortable, professional looking, with good lighting, and of course that you feel good in. Also preparing answers to some questions that they might ask in the very brief period of time that you might be meeting with them, but do consider the STAR format, right? If you've attended interview webinars or workshops in the past, then you know that STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. So pull them in with a good, brief, relevant story about a way that you've demonstrated that particular skill set. One thing to think about is that 93% of employers consider soft skills an essential or very important factor in their hiring decision. This is from a recent survey. STAR responses are an excellent way for you to really demonstrate those soft skills or those transferable skills that we know you have. So research in the company, we'll start with the company info and the bios that are on the platform that Michelle just reviewed with you. And then make sure that you shortlist in order of preference the companies that you really do want to make sure to connect with during Career Day. You can also use LinkedIn. So for those of you that have attended the Networking in LinkedIn webinar last week, or the week before, I don't remember when it was, but recently, then remember how you can use LinkedIn not just as a networking tool, but also as a really great research tool. So a reminder, this is how you do it. Up there in the search bar, click on people, and you'll get a really good idea for the types of people that they hire, career pathways that these current employees or previous employees have. And then, of course, review the job postings. And if you're not entirely sure what it is they're hiring for, consider contacting the company. Of course, first check out their website, see if they do have any postings. If not, consider contacting the company and finding out what positions they're looking to fill when they come to Career Day. And that will give you a really great idea for how to customize your resume, for which job are you customizing that resume, and B, some really great examples that you can prepare using that STAR format. Okay, so during the event, the day of the event, make sure to arrive on time. Michelle covered all of those logistical items with you, but log in and start queuing, right away. Now you've done that preliminary work. You've identified companies that you're interested in having those conversations with. Now's the time to start joining those queues and to prepare perhaps an answer to this question, which, well, it's not really a question, but tell me about yourself. Within that 5, maybe 10-minute time, they'll probably ask that question. And so it's a good idea for you to come prepared for that and be, of course, prepared, but not scripted. So when you're putting together your answer to this question, just like for any other interview question, I always suggest that you do it in point form so that you're remembering the theme and the concepts and not the fluidity of the sentence or the paragraph that you put together, because we certainly don't speak the way that we write. So point form is a good idea in order for you to deliver your general themes that you're looking to cover. In order to do this, you might want to address 3 particular areas: your work experience, including any volunteer experience you have, co-op or internships, work that you did, simultaneously while you were studying. That shows a lot of those transferable skills there as well. Going into your school, your time as a student, the type of student you are, how engaged you are, any activities that you are a part of, that's an important part of your identity as well. And then don't forget about you. When they say, tell me about yourself, they mean you, in addition to some of that work experience and the way that you are at school and what it is you're studying at school. So if you can build a connection with the company, perhaps it's a particular interest of yours, or you have a particular hobby that overlaps with it, or whatever it might be, then build that connection with them there. It is virtual. It's a virtual career day, and so you do want to think about it as an interview. You want to prepare questions that they might possibly ask during that time, and if you over prepare, fabulous. You're ready for an actual interview with that company. So that's only positive. It's only a positive thing. But in terms of stability, like I said before, you do want to make sure that if you can get your hands on a laptop, if you don't have one, I would recommend using a laptop or a tablet that's propped up, just to make sure that, again, you don't have that instability of a cell phone. You want to keep your background relatively simple. Feel free to have a bookcase or a curtain or something behind you. And you do want to make sure that your lighting is pretty decent. No underlighting, perhaps, straight on, perhaps like a window across from you in order to give you some really good lighting there as well. Already covered this, but you do want to dress professionally, and it's not only for them, but it's also for you, right? If you're feeling the part and looking the part, then it's you're not only convincing them, you're also convincing yourself. Make sure to have resume on hand, like an actual hard copy of your resume, something that you can quickly look down and reference. Maybe highlight parts of your resume that you want to make sure to really bring forward, and maybe write down a few action verbs, things to remind you, and terminology that you want to make sure to include in your conversations. Next up, what do you do? Group or one-on-one? Well, I've already told you that I strongly recommend that you do both. When you sign up for group, of course, there's benefits to both, which is why I would suggest as much as possible to perhaps attend both. Now, with a group, of course, you might get some more general information. You can pick up on what other attendees ask, what types of questions they ask, rather, and simply observe what's going on there. Whereas in a one-on-one, you're able to develop rapport, a relationship almost with the interviewer. You could, of course, stand out more in a one-on-one, so it does make you a little more memorable. And you do have the opportunity there to discuss the particular role that you are applying for, and make that connection and make that match for them. Either way, whether it's a group and or one-on-one, do make sure to follow up after career day. So speaking of groups, what are some ways or techniques that you can use in order to stand out in groups? And shameless plug, I did just write an article on this, so head over to Career Connection and you'll see an article all about standing out during a group interview. It's also in this week's newsletter. So some things to consider here is, don't feel the need to speak first and often. You can be a proactive listener and really gain a lot of important, valuable intel. So you can pick up on what other people say and build on that. Use the other attendee's name when you're referencing it, and then build on that. Don't just stick with questions where it's pretty obvious you could have found the answer on the website. Dig a little bit deeper. For those of you that attended yesterday's employer panel, you might have left there with some really interesting intel. In fact, I believe you probably did, but you might have some follow-up questions. And so this would be a really great spot for you to ask those questions based on the fact that you attended the panel or that you did some other research beyond just their website. Answer questions using the STAR method. This will really allow you to stand out. And, I mentioned before about the importance of those soft skills. Employers really, really value those soft skills. And so having STAR responses that really identify those soft skills or those transferable skills that you have, presented in a way like STAR that's really concise and detailed, will of course allow you to stand out. Picked up, this is similar to the other one in terms of picking up what others are saying and kind of building on that. Refer to the other attendees by name and genuinely acknowledge what they say as being particularly valuable and interesting if you're going to build on what it was they said. And then finally, follow up. A great way to stand out after a group interview or a group meeting is to follow up. Another recent survey through Robert Half showed that 80% of HR managers consider thank you emails helpful when reaching a final hiring decision, whereas only about 24% of applicants actually do follow up with a thank you email. So that's something to consider, and that's an excellent way for you to stand out from the crowd. Questions that you might want to ask them. Michelle did already cover this with that really great resource page, but you can ask them questions about the role. Again, please don't just refer to something that you could easily find on the company website. Ask them about their own experience with the company if they haven't done a quick kind of introduction as well, or perhaps, ask them to expand on something. Asking about the hiring process, and particularly if they have a ATS system, do they know how the ATS system reviews and categorizes applicants or categorizes candidates? Those types of questions are really, really valuable intel for you. And then about next steps, after career day, what is the process for applying for a particular role and so forth around that. So next steps would be great. After career day, you, of course, hopefully will be writing some notes as you're meeting with some of these representatives from these employers or from these companies. So review those notes and any communication that you had with them. Send them a brief thank you note, as I mentioned before. And if you have decided that you're going to be formally applying for any of these roles, make sure to let them know. So follow up. Let them know, hey, you've really attracted my attention here. I was particularly interested in this and this and this, which is why I've decided to go ahead and apply for this role. And I will be following the instructions that you gave during the career day about how to best apply for that position. So let them know that they did a great job of attracting you to want to apply for that company, right? You now have some really good insider information on how to best apply. Keep that momentum going and do it, right? Go ahead and apply using the tips and the instructions that you received during career day. My final tip to you is to be as confident as a kid in a superhero costume, right? For any of you who have ever been around toddlers, you know they are as confident as can be. So, bring your A game to this, do your research, prepare, customize your resume, put together a list of some good STAR examples demonstrating those excellent soft skills that you have, and you'll be ready to go. I'm going to open it up now for any questions.
Thanks, Chantal. There's an echo. Hopefully, yeah. We do have a few questions, and we have our Brenda here, Brenda Richmond, our employer relations strategist, have been gracious enough to answer some of the questions, but I think I can share with you a few that might not have been cleared here. Gagan asked what the STAR method is. So Brenda did share that it's situation, action, tasks, and results, but I don't know if you can maybe do a quick brief of what exactly the STAR method is, Chantal?
Yeah, this is a really good question. Thank you, Michelle. The STAR method is an effective way to answer what's called behavioral style questions. Employers love these questions, right? Because essentially the way that you were or the way that you responded or reacted in previous situations will be a pretty good indicator of how you might do that moving forward. And so the STAR is essentially, and I do invite you please to sign up for the interviewing webinar that's coming up on the 11th, because of course I cover STAR and the importance around that, and I do provide an example around that as well. But essentially, when you're answering that question, it's not just enough to say, for example, tell me about a time you had a difficult client. Well, listen, if you're coming to me with 5+ years of experience in customer service, you cannot tell me you haven't had a difficult customer, right? You have. And what they want to know is how you dealt with that. And using the STAR formula will really help you to build them that picture. So you start off with the situation and the task. So let's talk about the situation. The situation is, well, when I was working over it, yes, I have had a difficult customer. With 5+ years in customer service, I certainly have. Now, I was working over at ABC Corporation, and my role was to fill in at the customer service desk. So there's the situation. The task was when a customer might have come up to you and they were particularly frustrated or angry about the fact that whatever happened, right? So that's the task. The action, and that's the most important piece, are the steps that you took in order to alleviate the potential situation here. And so the action piece will allow you to really demonstrate the skills that you're trying to promote to the employer. So they might, in that action piece, you want to demonstrate your proactive listening skills. You want to demonstrate empathy. You want to demonstrate confidence, whatever it might be. So these were the steps that you took, and then the R is the result of that. And you tell that whole thing in its entirety, and you give them this beautiful present as a response. Okay? So that's STAR in a nutshell.
Thank you for that brief overview, Chantal. I have another question here from Banot, and I think I can answer this. Is the virtual career day only for students who are in their last semester? Since you are in your 3rd year semester and have 1 more semester to complete your PG diploma. So not necessarily, again, the event is open to all KPU students and alumni with their year you are in, but for of course you're going into your last semester, it's definitely, there's a lot of opportunities there. We have a lot of organizations that have lots of entry-level positions available, or if you're not ready to apply yet, of course, then you can initiate a conversation about what are the steps that you can do to apply for certain roles once you graduated, particularly if you're looking for specific graduate roles. And how can I know which companies are coming on Career Day? Yes, great question. All the employers an employer list is now available on the Career Connection site. So if you log into your account in Career Connection and go to events and Virtual Career Day, the list of organizations are already there. You can view their profile, see their links, if the website, social media links are also available. If they have shared the YouTube a video, you can also watch a little bit more about the organization when you're doing your research. So everything is available in the Career Connection page. So just hop onto the link, go to the events page, and open the Career Day site. Let me just do a quick scroll. Sam has a question, and it's not silly at all. Are the companies coming to give introduction about their available roles, or are they hiring on the spot? I think Chantal can also say something here, but for me, I can tell you it's both. Of course, they're there to let you know exactly what they are looking for and so forth based on what you have told them, right? So that's why it's really important to make that introduction, letting them know exactly, what program are you in, what you're looking for, and so forth. And that way they can provide you the information that you need. And we have students that have been hired attending career fairs. So yes, we can definitely let you know that a lot of them might be hiring on the spot. So that's why it's really important to make that connection and really put your best foot forward and listen to the guidelines that Chantal just gave you in terms of how you can do that. Chantal, I don't know if you want to add more to that.
No, I would, the only thing I would say though is, you know, it's very likely that you might be targeting more than one employer. So just going back to some of the tips that I suggested a few minutes ago, make sure that you have a customized resume for them. You might upload a more general resume, but do make sure that when you are in the conversation with the employer that you have one ready to go, that you have one ready to send them immediately that's been customized for them and their needs and the role that you're looking to apply. Because in that customized, and again, for those of you that attended the resume webinar a little while back, I discussed ways, so feel free to rewatch that. It's exciting stuff. But I suggested ways for that you can customize your resume each and every time.
Thanks for bringing that up, Chantal. Yes, in terms of the resume that you can upload when you're attending the event, you can only upload up to one resume. So the recommendation is, yes, have a general resume available, but on the other hand, you want to also have a customized resume depending on which organization you are intending to speak to, available on hand, so that when you're having the conversation, you can let them know you do have a resume available for them, and you can just share it with them depending on how they would want to receive it. So yeah. Webinars. I mentioned that the Career Day page, again, I'm going to share the Career Day page. If you go to kpu.ca/career day, all the webinars recordings will be available on the same page, particularly in the registration section here. So as you can see, the resume and networking and LinkedIn webinars are available. The recording are now available here. If you click that, it will direct you to a YouTube video. The panel, it will be uploaded by tomorrow or early Monday. And also the same thing for this Career Day event. We'll make sure that we'll have that available to you so that you have a time to watch the recording again and review some of the points and highlights that we've shared with you. Let's see if we have any other question. I think that's the only thing. That's the only question I have. If I have missed you, please, have your hands up right now and ask your question. But if not, really, I think the next part is just to do the draw. We are giving away $20 gift card as well. But I'm just gonna sneak in what Anuja said about if they're hiring part-timers. Yes, there are a few organizations, some organizations that are hiring part-time opportunities. So make sure to mention that when you're speaking with the organization you're speaking to.
And Michelle, I did see an ATS question in there. Brenda, thank you so much for replying. Yes, it's an applicant tracking software. So it's a type of software that many employers, certainly all levels of government, many large employers, most universities, so forth and so on, all the health authorities, they all use this software in order to track applicants' resumes. So if you are uploading when you're applying for a position, if you're uploading your resume, then that means it's going through an applicant tracking system. If you're emailing it to a human being, it's going straight to that person and you're not using an applicant tracking system. The applicant tracking system, they all differ. So some employers might be using it, to categorize, candidates by location. Some applicant tracking software might hold back some resumes depending on, whether or not they meet certain keywords, although we're not really seeing those ones too much anymore. But it's essentially a tracking system in order to, oh, that's very nice. You're getting a nice hug there. Yeah, so it's essentially a way to compile, to take in, compile, and track all the resumes that an organization receives. It's a software.
Thanks, Chantal. I know we really want to do this draw since we're giving away a $20 gift card, but I have Priyadarshini Ramesh. Him or her is hands up.
Hi,
Hand is up.
Michelle.
So yeah,
Priya
feel free to
here.
ask a question.
Hi, Michelle. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I have a question. Let's say I've showed interest and have joined four employers in the queue, and let's say two employers are inviting me for the chat at the same time. So what should I do?
Oh, in that case, actually, once you are invited to chat with one employer, automatically your setting will be not available to the organization,
Okay,
other to other employers. So yes, don't worry about it. You'll
okay,
definitely still be in their queue. The only time that they can actually start a chat is if you are completely available. So it is important when you're chatting to make sure you end the chat and that you are no longer in any of the chats that you have just joined earlier. And once you are available again, the system will prompt the other organization, the representative, and there's a start chat button available to them. It will highlight again, and now they can click that to invite you to the queue. I
okay,
mean, to
great.
invite you to the chat. Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for clarifying, Michelle.
yeah, for sure. Thanks for asking that question. And Sam, let's go. That's the last one, Sam.
Thank you so much for that, Michelle. How are you today?
Good, good. What's your question, Sam? How are you?
Yes, so I have one question. So about ATS. Last time I heard about that, like when we send a resume using Indeed, they run it over a system where it asks for the keywords that are required for the job, and if there's a particular keyword not available, they don't even look at it. So, what do you prefer? We can resolve that. As Chantal just told me that they also categorize the locations using that software. So, how can I use it? Should I put a clause saying that I am available in these cities for that? Like in case I'm fine with relocation, or like how does that work?
Yeah, I'll jump in here, Michelle, for that. Thank you, Sam, for that question. As I mentioned, a lot of ATSs, for the most part, Sam, they don't block people out. For the most part, it's just a way to kind of categorize and organize all the candidates coming in. Usually, recruiters do get to see all the applicants. So it really is important that you customize your resume each and every time. As we heard from yesterday's panelists, the way that Indeed, kind of sends your resume through, it's very important to keep it clean and structured and customized to the job posting. One thing that I always recommend, if you see it on Indeed, don't automatically apply there. Go to the company's website, see if it's posted there, and apply that way.
Perfect. No, that's I always thank you so much for that tip. I would study for that on this weekend. Also, do you have any idea how many candidates are coming on 9th of March? Do you have any counting for that?
Yes, Sam, we have 45 organizations registered for the event, and they are coming from different industries as well. So there's a lot of really different options for you. Again, depending on which industries you're looking into entering, or if you're in particular program and you're looking for specific roles, like for example, supply chain. Yes, a lot of the organization does have a warehousing and so forth. Amazon is coming, NRI distribution for supply chain. So those are the things that you can explore. All the exhibitors are available. Exhibitor list is available on Career Connection. So if you log into Career Connection and go to the events page and view the virtual career day page, you can go to the employer tab and see the list of organization. I'll just do a quick share. Oh, share my screen here, because I noticed that this has been asked twice. I just want to make sure you guys know where to look. So if you go here, if you log into your account, again, go to the events page. Oh, I'm just going to log into my account here. If you go into the events page, there you go, and you go into the virtual career day. Oh, sorry, am I sharing my screen?
I
Yes,
think I'm
Michelle, you
just
are.
seeing like one link.
Okay, let's see. Let me try that again. Okay, there you go. So sorry. So if you're in your home page, you go to your events. go to Career Day, and then select employers. These are all the organizations attending the event. And you can simply, open their overview, view their profile. They have their links available here as well, or jobs if they posted it here. Again, some of them are not posting here, but it will be available on their site, or they can share that on the day of the event too. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Thank you so much for that, Michelle. Actually, originally I was asking how many students plus alumni are we expecting to
Oh.
see there?
In terms
Sorry
of
about
students,
that. I didn't
we
hear.
have around 150 students already registered, students and alumni. We might expect more, around maybe 200 and so forth. So that's why it's good to uh, join the queues as early as possible so that you're on top of the queue of these organizations, especially if you have key organizations that you really want to speak to. Still has questions, we're still going to be here for another minute, and then we can maybe answer your question quickly. Tejas, do you have
Yes.
a specific question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I know that we're talking about a college career fair, but I was just wondering that the majority of these employers, do they just hire for entry-level jobs, or are we also talking about mid-level jobs? Because I have, a few years of experience, so I was just wondering.
That is a really great question. Definitely, Tejas. In all honesty, a lot of organizations that are attending are actually asking if there are a lot of, if you're not alumni or those who have, more experience in certain roles, because they do have other, yes, mid-level opportunities available as well. So definitely mention that to the organization, to the representative you're speaking to. And they can also see that in your resume as well. So yeah, it's not just an entry level. You're talking about other opportunities that they have that really matches with your experience, right? So yeah, definitely.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Taz. And I think that's really the last question. So if there's are still students here, again, thank you so much. Chantal, I don't know if you have any final last words before we leave.
No, if you're coming to this webinar, if you've been attending the other webinars, it tells us that you're super proactive and ready to go. So I think you're all set. Yeah.
I agree. And and I think, the event is going to be fun. I know it's nerve wracking for a lot of you that is joining the event maybe for the first time, but really it's just making the connection. The first, what I'm going to say is I think the first chat might be the most nerve-wracking one, but as you move along and actually speak to more organization the second time, third time, fourth time, it actually becomes even easier. So really just taking that first plunge out there in the beginning, and you're good to go pretty much for the rest of the event.
Great tip for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and see you on Wednesday next week.